Hello and welcome to Colleague 7 Sprint Review for 18.10.02. This will cover the work undertaken between the 16th of October to the 29th of October. So starting with our sprint goal, and for this sprint our objective was to ensure the SMS feature was refactored to deal with error handling and sending failures, whilst also establishing a refined approach to the management of templates. Looking at the high-level items and to explain further, in this sprint, we've been able to redesign the SMS feature to better handle instances of API error and sending failures. This is following feedback regarding issues with the SMS messages failing to send, and essentially there not being the required error handling in place to track the reasons for failure, and also for the user to be notified of the failure itself. I'll demo these updates shortly. We've looked into a revised solution for template management. Currently, templates are managed solely within the UI using the text editor. But we've seen clients ask and expect a mechanism where templates are administered within Word and then saved or uploaded to Colleague. We've now established a framework for how this feature will be enhanced over the coming sprints, with a view to it being finished by the end of November. Moving on to some bug fixes. We've made an update to ensure the alert text can be seen correctly from within search results and selection screens. There was an issue with checklists auto-collapsing on update, which we've now resolved. When symbol characters were used in emails or letters and the form was set to preview, this was shown the HTML equivalent text rather than the symbol. This has now been resolved. We've introduced an option to update the candidate status when a placement is made. And we've added icons and links to the experience table so that this works in the same way as the Spec CV and Requirements tab. We'll now go through a brief demonstration on the key features from this sprint. Okay, so there's a few items to cover as part of the sprint review. The first item, and it's really the main item of the sprint in terms of functional change, is relating to the SMS feature. So previously when you sent an SMS from Colleague 7, the process would complete and appear to complete without issue, regardless as to whether or not there was issue. So in the event of trying to send perhaps to an invalid mobile number, or the API failing to receive the message from the SMS supplier that we use, in any instance from Colleague 7's side it would have said SMS send complete, because it would have attempted to perform that function, and as far as it was concerned its job was done. So what we've now introduced are error handling elements to the SMS feature so that it will now track to confirm and make sure that the SMS is sent, and if that's not the case, then it will advise you that it has failed to send and the reason why. So just to demonstrate this is both from sending from an individual record or from sending from a bulk email. So just to demonstrate this from a bulk emails perspective, if I just select a few records here, we'll hit SMS there. We're going to be sending to two mobile numbers which are essentially error incomplete, and one valid number. We'll send a test message here. So on hitting send, it will process the SMS and advise that the SMS send has been complete. But you'll notice that the message that appears here now will say known errors occurred during the sending process. You will receive a notification with the details shortly. And essentially that's that element is an optional extra that may occur if there have been issues that have occurred in the bulk send that you've sent. And also it would advise that if obviously you tried to send an email, send an SMS from an individual record also. With an OK off that message, if I navigate to another area just to prompt the notification to retrieve any new notifications to come through, what we should find is a notification come through, and there we go, we can see that come through there. If I select that notification panel there, that comes out. What you can see here is SMS successfully sent to one record but failed to send to two records. So what we have here is an option to download the error report. This is the same type of interface or notification method that's used with bulk email sending as well. So if there's an error with a bulk mailer going out and advising of failure of certain email addresses, it will advise in the same way. This way is obviously advising us of SMS records that have failed to be sent. So if we open up the error file, you can see there the content of the message that was sent and the failed recipient. So this will list all of the recipients that obviously failed to receive that message, and the failure reason will be advised here. And that reason can obviously vary from an invalid mobile number ranging to the API of our SMS supplier failing to receive the message to any number of reasons why a mobile SMS can fail to go through. So that reason will come through, and then obviously you can act accordingly based on the failure reason. So that was the key update from the sprint in terms of the SMS error handling. The next point to cover relates to the updating of a candidate status on placement. So what we have done is within the admin area under global settings, under the section of placement, we've added in two new settings for candidate status on contract placement and candidate status on permanent placement, and that's contract or rolling placement there. So both those will link to a drop-down list, which is essentially the list of available candidate statuses that are available from that lookup list. And then from there, you can select the appropriate status that you want to assign to a candidate when you place them. What then happens from a placement perspective, or the next stage along, if you like. So you can see against this candidate that we've got status here of active. If I go to requirements and open up an offer that's linked with this candidate, and we accept this offer, a candidate is now placed against this in this placement. If I go to the candidate record now, and what we can see is that the status of that candidate has changed to working for client because that was the assigned status. So that's the update that we've made there. The last point to cover, and it's just an update, minor update that was made again against the candidate record, and that's the experience tab. So the experience tab will contain access to records that are associated with placements, but also access to education records that have been parsed from your CV or the CV of the candidate, and also any unknown situations where there may be gaps in the candidate's employment history. So what we have here against experience is obviously records there, but they're associated with other entities. So what we've updated it with is the option for these icons to be accessed. So just by going onto the experience tab, you quickly have access to any associated placements that the candidate has been linked with, access to the contacts that are associated with those placements, and obviously the company records as well, just with a single click there. And that brings the experience tab in line with how it is represented with requirements, with access to associated entities within here, and also to a degree the spec CV sent area as well, with association to entities there as well. So that's the experience tab, and that's what we updated there. As always, if you have any queries or feedback, please get in touch. I'll be keen to hear from you. Also, for those using Colleague 7, feel free to submit your enhancement request via the support team or directly to me using the above email address. The next video will be the sprint plan for 18.11.01, and as always, that will contain a high-level overview on the items we intend to work on during that sprint. Thanks for watching.